Welcome to Kentucky Horsepower, the official podcast of the Kentucky Automobile Dealers Association.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Kentucky Horsepower Podcast. This is Sarah Bishop, your Vice President of Legislative Affairs. With me today is Larry Hourcle. Did I say that right, Larry?
You did. Thank you very much.
Right. He is with the NADA Academy, and he is our guest lecturer on our next Kentucky Dealer University virtual class, which is coming up next week. So I wanted to talk with Larry about what kind of things we're going to talk about at the class, and also kind of give you a feel for what it's going to be and why you want to attend. And just in chatting with him before we began podcasting, I am really excited for all that we're going to learn here. Most importantly, Larry, tell us about your Kentucky connection.
Oh, well, that is, I was truly honored when you asked me if I could be on this presentation for going back to school with NADA, because my wife's family is actually from Kentucky. Her mom was born there. Her uncle still lives there. They're out of E-Town in Kentucky, so we get back there to visit quite a bit. And little known fact, he actually sold cars for a dealer, a Nissan dealer, until 2008. He's a World War II vet. I mean, just
Wow.
standing guy, but they lived and breathed Kentucky for a long time, and it's always great to go see there, and it's a lot of fun. So
Yeah,
I to
well,
be a part of this.
stop by and say hi next time you're heading to the Bluegrass State.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, so tell us about kind of the general themes we're going to be talking about next week.
Well, we wanted to talk about profitability. It's harder to retain money and making sure the dealership stability is there. Service operations gives a lot of stability to the franchise dealer because, right now about 52% of all gross profit is built off of service, parts, and collision centers, the fixed operation side of the business.
And I think right now there's so many unknowns with the impact of tariffs and the ever declining profit margin in terms of the sales department. So what you're going to do is talk to us about how to make that fixed ops department really work in a way that can be profitable.
Well, and concepts and ideas to make sure that we're looking at the right things as well, right? With inflation, I saw something on the news last night that the average consumer's going to be expected because of inflation to come out of another $2,500 out of their pocket for expenses just associated with living, not including car care, which is a big part of their budgets, right? So being able to make sure that we're doing the right things, watching our business is going to be very important because are people going to be able to maintain these vehicles at the dealership like they should be? It's going to be huge, right? So
Sure,
besides
as
raising,
affordability becomes more challenging, then all the more important are these vehicles that are staying on the road for so long.
they're staying on the road for longer. I mean, the average age of a vehicle right now is 12.8 years. There's a lot of service recommendations that need to be made. And let's face it, Sarah, with people not being able to afford the unexpected, which are vehicle repairs, right? You don't expect that.
Yeah.
How do we retain and maintain our customer relationships? A lot of it's through the maintenance side of the business. It's the proactive side of the business where we're educating customers on how to properly take care of their vehicles. And, just by looking at the numbers, for every dollar that the customer invests in maintaining their vehicle, they're saving between $6 and $8 in future repairs. That's a great asset to a customer to know on why it's important to have your vehicle serviced by the experts.
Absolutely. And, no one is excited to bring home their shiny new filter, right? Like, I just spent so much money and I can't see it, but I know I have to have it. So it really is, I think, helping customers understand the value and the money that they're spending.
Well, and as a previous career technician, it was easy to show a customer the value when you fix something that was broken. They knew that problem was there. It's not there anymore. But when you do proper maintenance, you don't see that difference, right?
Yeah.
So making sure we're educating them, keeping them informed so they can see the value in the services that we provide is hugely important. I think my value it to a customer is making sure that they don't end up on ways as an obstacle in the road, right?
Right, right.
My goal for you is to never have issues because these people depend on their ability to generate money, going to work, taking kids to soccer games, whatever that looks like in their life. It's a huge inconvenience when something doesn't work right.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't want to give away all our secrets because I want people to come and join us for class next week. But talk to me a little bit about what the most common sort of areas that dealers overlook in their service department.
Well, I think a big thing right now is what we're spending on technician inventory, right? Technician inventory is very expensive for a well-educated individual. As a previous former technician, I got out of the business way too early, but I think my goal, being an NADA Academy instructor, is to give back and educate people to make a better living for technicians. It's a true passion of mine. Um, but when you buy the inventory, you want to get the best deal, right?
Absolutely.
So growing your team, having the effectiveness and ability to control the spend on what you're spending for technician cost is hugely important. And also looking at the work mix that's being done in your store to make sure that you are retaining enough of your effective labor rate overall. As customers can't afford a whole lot of extra money spent, they kind of start questioning, oh my gosh, the dealer's so expensive, their prices, but we don't charge that for everything. It's an average, right?
Right.
So let's work on the average and make sure that it's where it needs to be before we just automatically go to thinking about we need to raise our price.
Yeah.
Talk a
And
little bit about that.
it's really about like talk about sort of I know at least in Kentucky, and I assume it's nationwide, people are clamoring for good technicians. So, um, how do you find a good technician and keep a good technician?
Um, Culture is the big thing, right? Um, and we can go all day. I mean, if you want to do all day, we can. This is going to be a really big class.
This is an extra long podcast here. Sorry, guys. It's the 6 hour version.
But just having a conversation, it's all about culture. People that want to be there, if they're generating hours and we're doing a good job with taking care of the people, more people hear about that as well and want to come work for those businesses. In class, the ones that tell me they don't need any technicians are typically the dealers that are doing very well with controlling their inventory, managing it, making sure that they're selling all of their inventory in service. So, and the inventory and service is ours.
Yeah.
So during class, we'll talk about measuring it, making sure that we're controlling it, not losing any. Because let's face it, Sarah, wouldn't you be upset if you lost 300 billable hours for the month?
Yeah. A little bit. A little
Well,
bit.
how come we don't have the same sense of urgency as if we lost two or three cars off of our lot?
Right.
Same value dollar, but you'll call 911 if somebody stole the cars, but we don't always do that in service.
We just look at it differently. We just look at it
It
differently.
should be one and the same.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely should. All right. Well, I again, in the interest of not giving away any of our secrets that are going to be on the class next week, and everybody, you can register for that class either through our website or I'll include the link in our show notes today. Give us a quick plug for NADA Academy and all of the things that they have to offer.
Oh, I mean, NADA Academy is so much more than just our academy program anymore. We do specialized classes. I know a lot of great students have come from the state of Kentucky attending our advanced classes for either parts, service, financial, used car inventory, new car. We have the professional series for the up and coming individuals that might be looking to be your next candidate in a bigger role. And then our advisor classes have been hugely popular. Advisor is probably the least trained individual, excuse me, except for the parts consultant. Probably least trained individual, but they touch more people than anybody else in the dealership. Giving that better experience is so impactful. So there's a lot of great training opportunities that we have to offer. Plus, we're 20 groups.
Right. I think I can't say enough good things about NADA Academy. I don't know a person who has been there and been through any of the classes and programs there that hasn't just raved about it. So if that's something y'all are interested or haven't taken advantage of yet, you absolutely should. I can't recommend it enough. Thank you, Larry, for being on the podcast today. And thanks in advance for being our guest instructor next week. That's it for our podcast today, everybody. And we will hopefully see you next week. Thanks.
See you next week.